Hey Milkweed Nation, we're out here in northern Utah checking out what essentially is a swamp where we've got swamp milkweed. Beautiful day, 93 degrees, sunny, hasn't rained in weeks because of the soil moisture from the water right down there. We've got swamp milkweed in bloom. We just took a look at the video about swamp milkweed growing next to showy milkweed. This video is to give you an illustration of why it's important to grow multiple species of milkweed. Different milkweeds are interesting to wildlife in different seasons. So if we take a look at showy milkweed, which is a very popular plant in northern Utah, one of the most wonderful milkweed plants that you can grow here, you see that the showy milkweed has some pretty big fruit. There we've got a big old seed pod. Showy milkweed was blooming from mid-June through mid-July. Absolutely adored by all sorts of insects, including swallowtail, of course the monarchs as they're migrating north into northern territories for breeding. They're using the showy milkweed. And having it in bloom is wonderful, but the blooms don't last forever. So we've got seed pods right now. It's mid-July, late July. All the flowers are gone on the showy milkweed. But if you have planted multiple milkweeds, like if you have swamp milkweed, you're gonna have flowers from mid-July through early September if you provided enough moisture. It has a later phenology for flowering. And who doesn't like flowers? Obviously the insects like the flowers. One of the most interesting parts of the plant is always the flower because of the nectar it provides. But also, when it's flowering, the leaves are going to be just a little bit greener as they're photosynthesizing the sunlight. So having multiple milkweeds is going to be good for the monarchs that are using the plants, because as these go to seed on the showy milkweed, the leaves will start to crisp up and it'll be a little bit less desirable for the caterpillars. But these swamp milkweed plants are just hitting their stride in mid-July through early September. So here's an example of 2 milkweed plants that you can consider growing. And we're in northern Utah. It's always good to know the location. If you were in Virginia, New York City, Missouri, this showy milkweed, you might replace that with common milkweed, which is native to your region in the eastern states. But swamp milkweed is also native in the eastern states. So a combination of common milkweed with swamp milkweed will give you blooms, buds, lush leaves, and desirable plants for caterpillars all summer long. Thanks for watching Milkweed Nation, and thanks for growing milkweed plants. If it's good for the butterflies, it's good for me.